Harari Media Network Ummat Taba.
This is a major milestone in each of our lives, one that gives us a sense of accomplishment and pride. However, graduation is not an end goal in itself, as Nia did say. It is only the beginning of our journey. We have yet to learn, overcome obstacles, and succeed in all our future endeavors. I pray that each of my fellow graduates are able to excel in the paths they choose to follow. I pray for the utmost happiness and success in each of your futures, and I pray that you all walk out today feeling proud of all you have accomplished and look forward to the rest of your lives, inshallah. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you very much. Next, Hamza Abbas.
Assalamu alaikum. So I had a speech planned, but then right now I just deleted it by accident, so I'll scroll. So I'll go off whatever. So I'll thank everybody for coming here and for being a part of this. I'd like to thank the Harari Community Center for hosting this event and making it possible. And I'd like to thank my family and friends for being here. So for my dad, he's always been there, trying to make me a good person. So when I was in grade 9, I wasn't the best person, but I had room to improve, and my dad insisted with that. So and for all the times that he took me to school when it was raining and snowing, just for me to get out the car and say, pull up your pants. And my brother, I'd like to thank him because he's a really big like influence on me, because I see his success and I want that for myself too. So and I heard, this is a quote that I remember heard him say, is like, good is not good enough. It always has to be perfect. For my mom, I love you, Mom. Okay, for real. So I love you. She did my back going through all this high school process. She put me through tutoring, doing all this stuff for me, and that's why I'm really appreciative of her. I can never do anything to repay her for this, but I just say I love you.
ندخل لي محل شاش.
عليكم. آواج آياج أنا وكاكاج أخست وزيراج أبا وهاج أباي وحتاج أهلاج هركاج كلهم همبيلي أمان بديتخو. هودي فز بتسباين الناس اللي بايتي مسامتخو ما فز بشكرا كرت خو أخاجني مرقا قبلي نفرقوا منا ما دعاء خو بأتروسونا. I would like to start this off by thanking everyone who has helped me along the way, and this year by giving me advice and reminding me to have patience. A reminder, even if what you have planned for yourself doesn't work out, it was what Allah willed for you, and Allah knows what is best for His creations. This graduation has already shown us how capable we are of accomplishing our goals when we commit ourselves to them. I hope all of us here today can take this personal accomplishment as an example of how anything is truly possible when we put our minds to it. And inshallah, I wish success for everyone here in this life and the next. And I'd like to thank my mom and my dad, my brother, Najmi, shout out to you, Nabat, Hannah. Thank you for everything and for always caring for me and telling me to always try my best. So, assalamu alaikum.
ندخل كلمة سامي رضوان.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to begin by congratulating the class of 2019 for all their hard work and dedication that brought them here. It's been a long 4 years, but we pulled through. We must also give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who willed for us to be here on this day. I want to give a special thanks to both my parents, my mom Orit Sharif and my dad Ridwan Mamish, who dedicated their time and energy in order for me to be successful. Words can't explain how grateful I am for everything you guys have done for me, even though I may have not always shown it. Also, shout out to my brother Yusuf and my cousin Naya. To the graduates, I want to let you all know we still have a ways to go, and I pray we all meet our goals and aspirations in this life and the hereafter. Lastly, I want to thank you all, the entire Harari community, for coming out on this day to celebrate an important day in our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you guys. Assalamu alaikum.
Sami Bahar Sharif.
Assalamu alaikum, family, relatives, graduates, and everyone else. Before I begin, I'd like to start off by congratulating the class of 2019. It's been a long ride, and I'd like to thank everyone who has helped me get to where I am today. My parents, who have done everything in their power to help me succeed and finish high school. My dad, who's right there, he was a part in organizing this event, and he has played a big role in my life, and I thank him as he provided me with all the necessary resources that would benefit me. My mom was the one who took care of me. She fed me. She woke me up for school, although sometimes I would have to wake her up. She also gave me advice and watched me grow every step of the way. I'm very grateful to be here, and I thank them again for loving me and providing for me. Although we didn't agree on everything, all their decisions were made so that it would benefit me. My siblings also gave me advice, both personal and regarding school, like any other siblings would do. Thank you, and assalamu alaikum.
نفخيت لما ابتسام أحمد.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I just want to start by congratulating everyone here today on graduating high school. It's been a long 4 years, and even though it's been fun, it's also been challenging, and I'm sure we're all glad it's finally over. Although it may be over, we're not done yet. We're only just beginning, and as we all go our separate ways, we still have different experiences, challenges, and opportunities ahead of us. I'm sure we all remember our first day of high school, being grade 9s in a brand new school, a day which seems like so long ago to me, and 4 years later, here we are ready to graduate. We worked really hard to get to this point, but we didn't do it by ourselves. We all have a lot of people to thank who have helped us along the way. First, I want to thank my family. To my siblings, Iman and Rani, for always being there for me. I appreciate them, even though I might not show it at times. To my parents, for supporting me in more ways than it is possible to count. I want to thank my dad for always pushing me to do my best and giving me advice whenever I needed it. I also want to thank my mom for always being my biggest supporter and encouraging me in literally everything I do. For always being the first person I go to for advice, and for always believing in me. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for her. Also, shout out to all the rest of my friends and family who I haven't mentioned, but who have been there for me along the way. Lastly, I want to thank the Harari Community Center for putting together this event and allowing us to experience this important moment together as a community. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
آخر إن شاء الله نية عبد الله شريف تغطي معنا إن شاء الله.
Assalamu alaikum again. Okay, I would first like to address those who helped plan out this event and continue to work hard to put forth a strong Harari community in Toronto. With that being said, I would also like to acknowledge someone that is no longer here with me, my Ummah. May Allah grant her the highest level of Jannah. She has always been a figure in my life that has supported me despite the hardships I was facing and constantly made dua for me, which always seemed to help. Next, I would like to thank my parents, Alfia Ibrahim Sharif and Muhammad Abdullahi Sharif, or for most of you, Kuta and the Kude couple. These two people have has shown me what true work ethic and perseverance looks like. Firstly, my mother. She came to Canada on her own with raising 2 sons, which she then worked hard to open up her store in a room in our apartment and built a business for herself that not only took time, but took discipline to succeed. Despite running a business, she never forgot putting her kids first. I can generally say that my mother is my best friend. She has always been there for me and helped me with situations that most parents don't choose to listen to, and for that I am thankful. Secondly, my father. Upon immigrating to Canada, he was forced to take a job that did not fulfill his interests, but did so to provide for his children with a better life. Working tireless shifts and constantly coming home after the sun rises, my father has shown me what true dedication and selflessness is. My father has always been someone I can count on to make me laugh under any circumstance, and for that I am appreciative. I would like to say Alhamdulillah for the amazing parents I have been fortunate enough to be blessed with. They have always pushed me to be the best version of myself, whether it is academically or just providing a space where I can speak about my day. I would like to then pass on to my siblings, my 3 brothers, Adil, Walid, and Danier, and my sister-in-law, Talia. I would like to thank you for always having my back, even though I'm the annoying baby sister in the family. All of you have shown me how I deserve to be treated, and I love you guys. Thank you for always being overprotective and trying to keep me away from as much harm as possible. I'd like to quickly shout out my niece and nephew, Milan and Khalil, who are in the back, you can probably hear them, who have given me the privilege of being an Anna. And I'd like to also shout out my akhastas, kakas, annas, and nazeras. Akhasta Patia, stop crying. They have always made their homes a place for me to feel comfortable in no matter which day, and have taken the role as second parents to me. Lastly, my friends, some are here and some are not. Being the youngest in the group has shown me what I aspire to be, and my friends have shown me what I will choose to grow up as. I love you girls tremendously, and I hope you all the best in life, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
أخيرا تخيط لمن إن شاء الله يونيفرسيتي تماريما حلوف زيارات زاج كنت جراديوت زاجتي الناجدة بي نية حسين زياج كنت متيش لوا من ينقر يحولو تيم ديرين إن شاء الله غاتو تتيني بوتا يا شيخ نية حسين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so firstly, I would like to say congratulations to the class of 2019 for graduating. Now you guys will be stepping into a new chapter as you guys will be entering college or university. So just to prepare you guys, I would like to briefly advise you guys on 5 easy rules to make your university experience less stressful based on my university experience at U of T for 2 years. Rule number 1 is to use all the resources available to you. Like literally use all of them available to you. Starting off with scholarships, apply to as many scholarships as you possibly can. Bursary and grants as well, which is basically free money given to you. It doesn't harm you to apply to them, and most of the time you realize that a lot of people don't apply to scholarships, and that's why you guys have a high chance of getting it. I applied to a scholarship and I got $1,500 off of that, and I also applied to a bursary just for some extra cash, and I got $1,700 off of that. Rule number 2 is to always ask questions. So you will stumble across some classes that you will find very difficult. Some people might find it difficult, some people may find it easy. Don't feel discouraged just because you feel like everyone knows what they're doing in the subject. Some people have their strengths, some people have their weaknesses. Some people will find calculus easy, some people will be natural biology. Always ask questions. Your professors are there to help you, to guide you into attaining a very high score in your class. And the more likely you see them, the more likely they get used to you, and the more likely they'll give you a high passing grade. I'd also say to make some group chats with a few classmates that you guys trust, and just discuss any assignments or tests that are coming up so you guys can do really well in that. Rule number 3 is to study especially hard in the first half of the semester, which is basically from the beginning to the midterm that's coming up. And I say this because usually for those classes that are cumulative, which means the classes that your final will be based on from the beginning to the end, if you study the first half very, very hard, you will memorize the first half, which will be very easy for you in your final. And also if you score a very, very high test grade on the midterm, the final you wouldn't have to be stressful. You wouldn't be stressed for. So for example, if you don't do one in midterm, you realize that you need like a 90% to pass the class, and you don't want to do that. So study very, very hard for the first half of the semester. Fourthly, I would wait, that was my fourth rule, wasn't it? Hold on. Oh no, rule number 4 is to go at your own pace. So when you enter university, you're going to be overwhelmed because a whole bunch of students look like they have their life together. A whole bunch of students study differently than you, take notes differently than you, and you'll feel very discouraged because you think that you're not trying hard enough, or you're not at the same level as everyone else. But trust me when I say this, everyone doesn't have their life together in university. Just make a friend group that studies very, very well. If you surround yourself by very, very good people, your study habits will be just as good as theirs, and you'll succeed. Also, do as many classes as you possibly can, but don't overstress yourself, because mental health is very, very important. So if, depending on whether you're doing co-op or not, you'll probably be taking between 5 to 8 classes, or 5 to 7 classes. If you can't take 5 classes, I would recommend dropping one and doing maybe 4, and then doing one in summer school, or maybe even staying an extra year. Or what you can do is search up your classes, see which one is heavy, which one's light, go and rate my professors, see which professor is very easy, which professor is hard, which professor assigns a lot of work, which one doesn't, and then maybe just do 3 classes and 2 hard classes. But I would recommend maybe doing 4 classes, because 5 is a huge course load. Also, what I would say is, rule number 5 is to find your interests. So usually the first year of university, your major and minor is not declared. So take as many different classes as possible. So take a biology course, a psychology course, a health studies course, take a business course, an English course, a journalism course, any course you can possibly can, and find your interest through the different courses that you're taking, and that way you can decide which one you're going to major and minor in. In university, you do have a lot of free will, so you will be able to do whatever you want when you want, but make sure you stay on task and make sure you study very hard. Also, do not feel pressure to graduate within the 4 years, because everyone feels as if they need to be on time and they rush their life. There's actually a statistic that I read that said 65% of students graduate within 5 years. So the majority of students graduate within 5 years. So make sure you guys go on your own pace and worry about attaining the right GPA to stay in your course. Stay in your program, because there is a minimum GPA, and if you don't get that GPA, they will kick you out of your program. So make sure you study very hard. Now with that being said, I hope these 5 rules will ease your worries as you start your new life in September, inshallah. I wish you guys the best of luck, and may Allah bless you all with knowledge and strength to endure your school, your university school year. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
MashaAllah. اوكي اخ ان شاء الله نبدا نتبع زفيرنا مع دكتور عبدي خليل ان شاء الله سعد كتبت تشين زالوا اذا جون كتبت تشين زالوا نبر حلوه ان نتينا ان شاء الله.
Assalamu alaikum. I think Sinana Chiviglaza hit fan aziash le master kutbenta ma English biology zo sinna takhashakram sinabe masena nunt itfarakal anzo budget abalahum wa hasabe kadin tazit yemadin Sinana chasin kut يلبادي زي حساب خونارا ودور وقتي بيكادلي أزياج عايشي بيتلي. So first of all, you guys, congratulations. Okay, you made it to this point. I had something to say, especially about turning point in your life. Okay, and at the same time, I wanted to tie up the turning point. Taken into consideration 3 things. 1, I don't want you to forget Harari, okay, that is your root, okay. The other one is about education. I myself is a university professor, so I know what is university life is. And number 3, I wanted to say also something about your parents, okay, because I'm also a parent. My daughter here. Nasab is my daughter here. Okay, so let me start by saying some few points. Congratulations again. You made it. Your parents are happy. The community is happy. And most of all, you are happy. It is also one of the turning point of your life. If you remember why I'm calling it a turning point, you will be realizing a lot of things. One, you will say, oh, I'm 17, 18, you know, I have the freedom to do anything, so it is a turning point, okay? Don't forget. You're going to have your own bank account, driving license, and so forth. Independence comes in. Number two, you'll be saying, okay, I'm signing documents, okay? And I'm free, but at the same time, make sure that you're responsible, okay? Number three, you'll be saying, you know, I'm looking for a job, I'll be paid. Make sure that when you are paid, you have to repay back some people, okay, including yourself. The other one, for me, you have just finished high school. High school means it is just a foundation, okay? You're just paving ways to go to the higher level of education. This is just a preparation, okay? Make sure that you understand. This is not the end, this is actually the beginning, okay, university life. At the same time, I think Alfia was talking about business. I'm going to talk about knowledge here, okay? Make sure that you have to balance out, okay? It's not only money, it's not also education. You have to have both. I can give you an example. If it is only money, Saudi Arabia could have been controlling the whole world, okay? But money doesn't necessarily mean that you have to forget about knowledge or education. You know, United States, for example, Canada is using both knowledge and money, okay? Therefore, knowledge is also very important. Okay, having said that, the other thing I would like to say is also about your identity, okay? You are born here, you are Canadian. I'm also Canadian by naturalization, right? At the same time, that doesn't mean that you have to forget your identity. Harari is important to your parents as well as to you. If you don't have any identity, it will be like a crisis in your brain also. That identity matters. So let me say something about Harar in terms of identity. I've written something, I hope you listen to this. A notable Muslim city known for unity, a den of intellectual and the symbol of diversity, exercising peace, togetherness, prosperity, equality, preserving the unique cultural effects, maintaining places of honor and veneration, including the shrine, mosque, and palaces, many cultural and traditional activities for centuries, make you wonder of the dynamic continuation of these priceless Harari values of these days. You can see here, your parents are demonstrating actually the Harari values, okay? The dressing and the culture, all of that. Make sure that continuation is very important. In terms of education, trying to balance the business. Like I have said, this is the beginning of changing your education. What you have done, your graduation today shows the foundation of your real education, professional life, and life at large. Let me also say something. To be or not to be, I think you can remember this from high school, right? Shakespeare, right? Okay, to be or not to be, said Shakespeare. If you say I can or I can't, you are right. That is your choice. Say it forward. To be activated or remain inactivated, that is the determining factor, said Abdi Khalil. This is what you have to listen to me also. So ignorance is darkness, light it up with education. Education activates the many dormant eyes of the mind that expands the level of consciousness. Our consciousness is a vital force of our knowledge. Without education, we are incarcerated in deep darkness. So don't stop learning, whether it is religious or secular system or any worldly affairs. Education is very important. Lastly, the other turning point about parents. We have gone through many ups and downs in life, okay? We have managed to bring children to this level with lots of sleepless nights from their infancy to what they are today. You have done a wonderful thing, and keep supporting the children, listening to one another. Despite some temporary differences, they will never forget how much we have invested, time, money, emotions, and many more invisible investment. And finally, I would like to say this, please listen to me. It is the awakening in the inner depths of the heart that awakens the realm of appreciation of own strengths and values. Both ignorance of our own values and the veneer of modern culture and civilization enslaves the mind. Don't be your own cultural distraction guide. Be yourself by nurturing, preserving, sustaining life characteristics based on the greatest constitution, Quran. Don't forget that. Don't forget a family is a nucleus of society and a nation. Let us celebrate today this achievement and wish you many more. Shukran for dynamic attention and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Harari Media Network Ummat Taba.